Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Orion protocol. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now, we haven't updated Orion in a long time, I know. And as you can see, it looks kind of bad right now, honestly. Doesn't look very good. A lot of altcoins, some of them are even near their all-time high prices. Some of them are, double xing, 3xing since the pullback in May. But here we're back to the prices of July of 2020 when we started trading on KuCoin here. The all-time high price was here at $30. So basically, we are at the very, very lowest possible prices for Orion. There is one support level below us that I'm targeting right now, but I don't know if we're going to retest it. Depends on what happens with Bitcoin. So on the weekly RSI, as you can see, we are very, very low. And compared to this is a very good buying opportunity right now. As you can see, we are printing a higher low here, which is good, which is actually even more positive, because if you take a look at the RSI and at the price action, you compare the lows, you can see that the RSI is printing a higher low while the price action isn't, because this low is corresponding with this low and this low is corresponding with this low. As you can see here, you have an ascending trend line potentially, and here the trend line is going to be flat. So this means that we have a bullish divergence at our hands, or I would even say an exaggerated divergence. That is when the trend line is horizontal here, and here we have an uptrend basically on the RSI. So this doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have an uptrend like that in an instant. No. But we should anticipate some sort of a relief rally, especially because this is the weekly chart and all the patterns are much stronger and mean a lot more and are much more important than, let's say, on the 4-hourly chart. On the 4-hourly chart, it might play out, but the effect won't be that grand. However, here, I would expect a move at least to the 20 EMA on the weekly chart if we start seeing a relief rally for Orion protocol. But as you can see, usually when you start getting to these prices at $1.10, usually people are buying up Orion, because at these prices, the consumers think that it's, cheap and they want to buy it. So once it starts getting a bit higher into the $1.50 range, that's when they think, well, that's a bit expensive now, I'm going to start taking profits. And that's why we're dumping basically. So yeah, based on the RSI, based on the price action, great entry points for Orion protocol. Now I do want to show you one more thing. So now all the drawings came back. As you can see in the last update, we were talking about the ABC correction here. And as you can see, we haven't really lost the C low, right? Once we dumped here in June, and this was our A from November last year, from March last year into July, then the B high in September last year, and then from September last year into September this year, as you can see, very, very long period of time. That is our C low. So from this C low, we could potentially start an uptrend, but no one knows if that's going to happen really. And based off of the Fibonacci retracement that we have over here, which is from this high at 29.9, which is basically $30, to this low that we printed in July last year, as you can see, we have gone all the way down to the 1.618 at almost gone to the 1.618, I should say, at 96 cents, 96.8 or 0.968. You get the point. Too many words. So I don't know if we're going to retest this. If you want to set up some buy limit orders, that's going to be great, because you're going to have the possibility to enter even when you're sleeping in case we get a capitulation when you're not ready to set up an order. So I would have some buy limit orders here, but as you can see, for the most part, we're holding this zone as support. We did that back in June, we did that in July, we're doing that in August, and we're doing that right now here in September. So this could end up being a wick and we could just come back up above, and the next resistance for us would be over here at $1.31. And actually, I think that's going to be a bit higher than that. Let's just drag that a bit higher. There we go. So there we go. That's going to be our resistance at $1.32. Now above us, we're going to have another resistance at the 1.414 at $1.50 and the 1.272 at $2.01. So those are our November targets, I would say. Obviously, we could start seeing a massive pump, but keep in mind that the supply of Orion, since this high over here in March of last year, the supply has increased drastically, so it will be much harder for the price to come back to the previous all-time high. So manage your expectations, dollar cost average in while you can, and while the prices are cheap, because if I'm going to see comments under my video in 6 months or in a year, when Orion's going to be sitting here at $20, if people are going to be saying, well, I should have bought here, I should have bought here, well, now's the opportunity to buy, okay? So that you're not going to be one of these people up here talking about how they should have done something. You can do that right now, but obviously don't buy all in. Be smart about your investments. Only invest what you can lose. So let's switch over to the Binance website. So switching over to the Binance website, let's just take a look at some indicators here. So the daily RSI, as you can see, actually, I do want to... So before switching to the Binance chart, we're back at the TradingView chart. So as you can see here, we have a channel down pattern on the daily RSI. So the first touch was in July last year, August last year, another touch was here in May this year, and then we bounced off of this high in July this year. So as you can see, we're just in a descending channel here until we start breaking out and we break this resistance here and we get overextended. That could happen towards the next bull market. So this is just a pattern that I'm looking at. Also on the daily chart, as you can see, I set up this RSI buy zone anywhere from 31.4 all the way down to 26.1. And every time we've been in this zone or below it, we've seen a strong move to the upside. And really, we've been only once below it here in June of 2022. And frankly, that is the lowest point for the weekly RSI. Even back in the COVID dump, we didn't go that low, as you can see. Where was the... Okay, I think that was not on the charts here. Okay, whatever. So pay attention to the weekly RSI. Now we can switch over to the Binance website. So taking a look at the daily RSI, we just looked at that, but you can see without all the drawings here, maybe it's a bit clearer. You can see that we are really close to the oversold zone. And if we start getting any deeper into the black zone and you go below the index of 30, you're practically oversold, and that would be a great entry point. So as you can see here, we have some sort of an ascending support trend line, so keep that in mind. Potentially, if we lose it, just wait a little bit more until you dump, because once you lose a strong support trend line, you typically see a move to the downside afterwards. Now, the daily stochastic RSI, as you can see, we were overbought here at the actually just yesterday and before yesterday, we were extremely overbought. And with the CPI data coming out, which I was warning you guys about on the channel for weeks, not for weeks, but for the past 7 to 10 days. And if that came out negative, we're going to be crashing down on crypto. And that's exactly what happened. So if you want to stay up to date with all the news and with all the insights, you can join the Patreon down below, or you can join the Telegram chat as well. So jumping into the daily MACD, I'm waiting for a bearish cross here. That would be my indicator that we're in the downtrend. And that would basically be the confirmation of the downtrend, I should actually say. And the important thing for us right now is we don't want to be losing key support levels and key lows. So by that, I mean we don't want to be losing this low that we printed in July. We don't want to be losing this low that we printed in June, okay? We're almost losing the low that we printed in May, and we don't really want to be doing this. So all the way down to $1, people buy this up. Buy this up, okay? If Orion starts dropping below $1, I mean, I don't think that's going to be very good for the price and for the morale of the holders, but you know, the lower it goes, the cheaper it is for you to buy. If you believe in the project long term, doesn't really matter what the price is today if your outlook is for the next 5 to 10 years. So thank you all for watching. If I missed anything important on the charts, please let me know down below in the comment section. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to join my Patreon. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye.